Yo, y'all man, we got Jubilee and we got Michael. I don't know. I've seen him. You probably know him from his face. Ex-Mafia. This is one of Ex-Mafia versus 20 cops. Yeah. Before we get to this, man, follow up over here on the third channel. This will be. I am trying to do more, like, not stay away from it because I will have it on the main one we have, but kind of staying away from more body cams. But I probably will watch them over here. Like, if it's a very popular one or something, I'll watch it. But like, yeah. So follow up over here. This is gonna be more like, like, I guess like, we did one about this assassin dude. We did another one about these ex-mob. It's just a whole bunch of shit. We're posting another one right here about the Joe Rogosphere with the Civil War, American Reacts. We're just doing a whole bunch of videos like that, kind of more, like, I guess like internet shit, like internet drama and whatever. But yeah, let's get to this one, man. There you go.
Law enforcement officers are actually afraid to go hands-on. They're afraid to deal with
Afraid to us.
Is there saying?
Criminal. You compare us to the FBI.
Sorry, I'm skipping through this shit. I'm not like gonna listen to every conversation, but let's go.
Family in New York, one of the 5 New York Mafia families. And today I'm surrounded by 20 cops. All right, my first surrounded claim is undercover sting operations often manufacture crime.
And I'm far away.
How do you
Nice
do?
to meet you. So, you believe that undercover operations create crime.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about the word entrapment.
By the way, this will be linked in the description if you want to watch this whole thing. I'm probably not gonna watch it, but let's go.
Entrapment means that law enforcement officers are inducing a reasonable person who is not predisposed to a crime to commit a crime.
Well, what do you mean a reasonable person? No, in my experience, the undercover operations were either an undercover law enforcement person or somebody, a confidential informant that was put into that situation. That's not a fine, upstanding person, normally. The undercover agent, absolutely.
Okay.
But not that other person.
So I've worked undercover. I've worked undercover in multiple situations.
You're a fine, upstanding person.
Thank you, I appreciate that. And looking at it from that perspective, if I was doing a prostitution sting, walking the streets, then people weren't predisposed to committing crime, they could keep driving or keep walking right by me.
Correct.
So the fact that I and my law enforcement agency created an arena for someone to make a decision does not mean that I manufactured crime for them. I did not force them to commit crime. They made that final decision.
I agree with that, and I believe
Yeah,
that
if it says fentanyl for sale for $5, doesn't mean you go buy the fentanyl. I get it, all right? All right? If it says fentanyl for sale for $5 on this corner, don't go up there because it's probably a fucking sting operation.
undercover sting operations are necessary.
Okay.
You know, to catch people that you suspect of being criminals.
Obvious.
However, there are situations that I'm very familiar with where they will use another criminal, okay, to go into that, become a confidential informant, and he will help to manufacture a crime by getting people to say things that they wouldn't have ordinarily said, put them in a situation, bring them a criminal activity of some point and put them into it. So yeah, because they don't know what this other person is doing. I give you an example. Michael Franzese, we know he's an organized crime guy. We got our informants told us that, but we haven't been able to catch him in a crime. So let's send somebody in there and see if they can create something to put him involved in. And then we have our crime. That's done.
It is,
Yeah.
but sending someone in like a confidential informant, there's also a lot of controls that are on the law enforcement side. So whether that person is wired or there is an infiltration of a law enforcement officer on, as part of the act, they're still not causing crime to be manufactured. It's all being done rightfully by the suspect.
I can't agree with that. I cannot.
I mean, I guess he's talking about like if someone, like how some people set up school shooters and shit. Like, yeah, do this, and they'll get a federal informant. Yeah, I mean, again, yeah, it's obviously entrapment right there. You can't be telling people to push the shit, but like, if there's a federal, say like some mafia dude got caught busted And the feds are like, okay, we'll knock off time if we tap you. Deal? And they tap them. And then they just give information and they say shit and fall and they, do plans and shit. And they catch him. I think, me personally, not just the mafia, whatever. As someone, obviously, I want the laws to be, not broken. But as someone that doesn't give a fuck about criminal, like not in that rude way, but like especially if you're causing mad harm, dude. I don't care about snitches. I don't care that people snitch. Why? Because you're getting more criminals off the streets. Like, I think people that say that shit are stupid. Don't snitch. Man, we're getting criminals off the streets. Right? Like, as someone that's not a criminal, I don't give a fuck that you snitched on 3 of your guys. I put them all in jail. They're all criminals. But, like, I get what he's saying. If this guy infiltrates the group and then next thing you know, you talk him into doing a murder plot or a murder thing. I'm not trying to be rude, but I don't think you can kind of be talked into something if you kind of didn't have that. Like, you can be, but, like, I think some probably already had that in their brain, right? Like, if someone says, like, yo, let's go murder somebody, no. I'm not good at, let's go do fentanyl. Like, you're not, like, it's going to be hard to convince me to do that. Now, if you do, you might be a mind musician, or you might be this mind-controlling dude, because I think saying, like, they're setting them up or whatever, like, I think that could be true, and but also, like, you're not just saying, like, no random person is going to be like, yeah, let's go murder 10 people, and they're going to go set up a plot and do that. I think you got to have that in you, if you get what I'm saying.
You wire up a confidential informant, and that informant brings criminal activity to that other person because that's the person that's the subject of the sting operation. That's entrapment as far as I'm concerned, because that wouldn't have happened if your confidential informant didn't go in and manufacture that crime. They're bringing him the crime. He's part of that criminal activity.
But like, will the informant be like, yeah, so let's move these drugs? Got it. Is that entrapment? But I want him to use an example, like an actual example, like, you know what I'm saying?
Understood. But if you didn't want to commit that crime, you wouldn't have to. You could walk away. You could be like, you know what? I don't want to do this robbery tonight.
True.
I don't want to put a, amount of money on someone's head. I can just walk away.
Absolutely, and if you do, you're not entrapped. But if you do it, then you are entrapped. And that's what the confidential informant is supposed to do, entrap you.
I understand what you're saying, but you just made my argument. So if you could walk away from that, and if you walk away from that, it's not entrapment.
That's what I'm saying. I think the majority of people probably already have it in them. That's why they're doing it. If you get what I'm saying, now it's kind of clicking, I think, right? I think the people that are going to do it probably already have it in them to do, like, go commit the crime. If you get it, you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? I could be speaking jibber jabber bullshit, boobily bobbly blue, you know what I'm saying? But, like, I think if this contra informant that's wiretapped up talks about, let's do this murder for hire plot, and you're invested in it, it could be entrapment, but also I think you already had it in you to kill somebody. Not saying you're a murderer, but I think you already had it in you. Like, it's already in you, if you know what I'm saying.
You're not getting involved in the criminal
If you know what I'm saying. How many fucking times can I say that shit?
activity
That's
where
correct.
if you stay involved in it, you were predisposed to move forward with that crime regardless. So it's not entrapment either.
Well, I disagree with that. I think because it would have never happened if law enforcement didn't put their CI in there to try to entrap that guy, then there would have been no crime.
But if the person they were trying to entrap, let's say it's you, if you were going in with a clean conscience, not wanting to commit crime at all, then it wouldn't matter who they put in there.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because you're still creating the crime. Law enforcement is creating the crime through their confidential informant. Because it would have never happened if that confidential informant, if he never met him, then there would be no crime.
So the confidential informant comes in saying, I want to do XYZ crime, you can still walk away.
You can, and then there's no entrapment. But there wouldn't have been anything at all if your guy didn't come in. He wouldn't have had to refuse anything because there wouldn't have been anything to refuse.
So you're saying you would never have committed a crime no matter what it was if there wasn't a confidential informant that came in?
I'm not saying, no, but here's what I'm saying.
Okay, but it's like, if someone offers you something, you don't have to take it. But if they offer you it, it's entrapment. Is that what he's saying?
Then get him for that crime. Then the government didn't push that. The government didn't create it. The government didn't manufacture it. He did it on his own. You have every right to get him at that point.
The government provided an opportunity, and the person can decide whether or not to take that opportunity.
That's correct. That's correct. But let me ask you a question. Here's somebody here, just he's broke. He's got no money. No money at all. Never committed a crime in his life. Innocent guy. Okay, can't put food on his table. You don't like that guy. You know what? I don't like him. I don't know what to do. He's not a criminal, but I'm going to send somebody in there and give him some incentive. I'm going to send somebody in there to talk to this guy, to tell him, listen, I have this jewelry store that we can rob. Don't worry about it. Inside job. Nobody's going to know anything. Okay, but come with me. We'll do it. Now you can put food on the table. So you created...
Yeah, dude, DoorDash. No, just DoorDash, dude. If you're at this point in time where you have to do crime, how would you even have a family, dude? Just DoorDash, guy. That doesn't give you a right to do crime. I get what he's saying, but yeah, DoorDash, dude. Start doing Uber Eats and Walmart pickup. No. I understand hard times, but nah. Doesn't give you a right to commit a crime. But you gotta understand, that was probably already in them in a way. Like, if someone tells me, let's go rob a jewelry store. No! The fuck? Dude, no, dude, I'm not a criminal. I'm not gonna rob a jewelry store. I think it has to be in you a little bit to do the crime, right? Like, someone that's gonna murder their wife, I think it's already in them. They probably already planned this shit. Like, if you're manipulated by someone that you don't know at all, I think you're also probably a little stupid. But maybe they're preying on the stupid people, which is understandable. Like,
crime. You manufactured a crime for a guy that never was in trouble in his life.
He may never have been in trouble in his life, but if he wasn't already thinking that he could get away with that crime or commit that crime, he would say no.
You can't lock somebody up for what they think. I may think of committing. I may want to rob.
Well, if he plots it, that's a murder, or not a murder plot, a robbery plot. If they plot it, that's a robbery plot, gang.
Truck, but I'm not going to do it.
Of course.
So you can't get mad at me for what I'm thinking.
But if he doesn't move forward with robbing that jewelry store, then there's no crime.
You don't understand. You didn't understand what I said. You didn't like that guy. He wasn't a criminal. You just didn't like him.
Yeah.
But I can't do anything about it. But I'm law enforcement. I have a tool. I have a weapon. I have a CI. I'm going to send him in there. I'm going to bait this guy into committing a crime.
How do you do that, dude? Because he's talking about if it's a CI, which would be what? I don't know what he means as CI. Because not undercover cop would. I'm going to assume, what? Federal informant? A federal informant isn't going to pick on Randy Joe that works at Walmart. He's going to pick on the guys. Like, I get what he's saying. But, like, I think it has to be a little in you to do all that. But again, dude, I get it. I get it. I get what he's saying.
Love that you think there's enough time and staff to be able to screw people over.
In the world of organized crime, okay, they got all the money, all the resources. Let me tell you something. During my time in organized crime, we had 750 made guys that comprised all 5 families. We had 1,400 agents, 2 agents to every 1 guy. They have plenty of time. That's what they get paid for. They have plenty of time, and they put a lot of effort into it, and they put a lot of guys. They destroyed my former life. They have all the time in the world when they want to. I'm not saying you do or anybody else in this room. I'm telling you my experience. And let me tell you something. I had a lot more respect at that time for police. They were doing their job. I understand that. People say to me, Michael, now, you got to hate the police. I said, no, I don't hate the police. I have a wife. I have 5 daughters. I have grandkids. When they walk down the street, I want the police to protect them. I support the police, but I don't support the underhanded stuff that was done and that continues to be done. I'm sorry. I think
that makes sense. All right, we're going to skip ahead. It's the most replayed part. Whoa, we're already here. All right. Actually, that is. Why is there a couple? All right.
Defund, but I'm totally against law enforcement using tactics and weapons to get people that they shouldn't be doing. They have to play by the rules, period, or we have anarchy.
You're right.
Fair.
And they do play by the rules.
No, they don't.
Because providing a criminal opportunity does not force someone to commit a crime. And if that person is getting lured into the crime because they don't have enough
Like if they would it be entrapment? If I get if they grab the dude like you're doing this or else, and then they arrest them, but if you're on there, if you're doing it for free will, your own free will, I don't think that's entrapment. Because he's obviously gonna get kicked out. All right, let's go.
Been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seats.
You are fabulous.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I like that guy. He's cool.
What took you guys so long?
Is this the same topic?
You got it. How are you?
Nice to meet you. We're both New York guys. We're adults, right? We make our own decisions.
Correct. Fucking cold.
Now, I'm going to go out on a limb and say 99.999% of undercover stings aren't just us being like, John Doe, you want to show off shotgun? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not how it is.
I agree.
We already probably have dirt on you in some facet, right?
Oh, you think you do? Yeah.
Either way, sure, fair. All right, fair, fine. So we're going to set up a 20-man team, audio, video, all this stuff just for a random dude.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
That's my point.
No, no, but what's the difference? Let's put out a name that everybody knows. Let's say it's John Gotti. We
Sure.
know that John Gotti is the boss of the Gambino family. We'd love to see him in jail.
Okay.
But we don't know what he's doing at this point. So we have to figure it out. So let's get
Sure.
a confidential informant, okay, wire him up or do whatever it is that you do, and put him with John Gotti and try to bait John Gotti into doing something, whatever it might be, so that we can get something on him. Tell me you're not manufacturing that. No.
He's still in the
tell
crime
me-
family. He's still running the mob. Like, it doesn't matter.
So like, hold on. You think some random dude's gonna bait the head guy? let's use a real life example here, right? Say it was like some random dude. I just watched a mob video, like, let's do this murder plot. Let's do this murder plot. Come on, bro, let's do it. We'll get away with it. I promise you. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's go. I got millions right now. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. We got it. Let's go. I got money for it. Let's go. I just need your money. I need you to tell me you got me. Let's do it. Let's do it, bro. Please, I'm gonna get away with it, bro. I promise you. Let's do it. Let's do it, bro. Let's get it. We got it. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna get him for you, bro. All I need is your funding, and I need you to help me plot it. That's all I need. I can do that. If Joe Gotti, whatever his name is, says he can do it, is that entrapment? That scenario I just laid out.
Being in the crime family
So
is not a crime.
So, sure. Yes, I
correct?
understand that. No, for sure.
Okay,
Yeah, but
so-
if you still put a CI in the room with him, he's like, "Hey, boss, you want to commit murder today?" He's gonna be like, "Actually, no, we're gonna pass on that." Like,
Okay.
no, he's still gonna do the crimes he's doing.
What murder?
Then we just have an inside guy
you
to
don't-
wire
you-
that up.
But you don't know that. You don't know
That's
that.
the point of the undercover sting. It's part of
Exactly,
it.
but you're manufacturing that particular crime. You are
He
creating
could say
that
if he's
crime.
some
Doesn't
no
matter.
one's gonna tell the boss of the Gotti crime the crime family to say what he's gonna do.
You don't. You're not
matter.
understanding. There still was no crime. You're creating a particular crime by bringing that confidential informant into him and giving him a particular crime by bringing. There still was no crime. You're creating
Is it a crime to say, yo, it's murder? I'm just saying, is that a crime? Because it could be a threat. Like, I think that's probably a crime, right?
a particular crime by bringing that confidential informant into him and giving him a situation, a criminal situation that you're hoping he bites into. If there was no
Okay. Would it be entrapment if it was someone else that wasn't a CI? No, because it wouldn't be criminal. Yeah, that makes sense. Honestly, he's kind of spitting right here.
confidential informant, there's no crime. So you manufactured that
He's
situation.
not making him do anything. he can easily be like, we're not doing that today.
He can.
Right.
He can say no, but I'm going to say the same thing that I said to that young lady. He wouldn't have to say no if you didn't manufacture something for him to say no
He also doesn't
to.
say yes.
Wouldn't that be playing if he played the undercover part to be like, yo, let's do this, let's do it, let's go, we got it, let's do it. Is that entrapment?
This is a
But
circle.
it doesn't matter. No, because
For sure.
the question is,
Oh, sorry.
do confidential informants manufacture crimes? The answer is yes. You're just agreeing with me because, yes, he's bringing a criminal situation to John Gotti that didn't exist before. If another criminal came to me and said, Michael, let's do this crime together, and I did it, okay, I did it. But if the government sent that guy in there, then the government is manufacturing
No, because
that crime.
you still have free will, and you could be like, no.
But
it doesn't matter.
You're right, but there would be no crime if the government didn't make that happen.
But
me personally, okay, it's probably entrapment, all right? But I don't think I give a fuck. Like, it sounds bad to say. I don't want the government doing that shit. Like, I'm not, like, this big government guy. But, like, I don't think I care that much, like, right? I don't think, like, okay, it's probably against the constitutional rights, your God-given rights. Could be, right? Just hear me on this. Hear me on this. Don't type away now. Hear me on this. I think that if you're in this crime family and this CI, whatever, this federal informant, whatever, goes and be like, yo, let's do this murder. You know, let's do this murder on the 3rd Streets. Let's do this murder, John. Let's do this murder. What murder are we gonna do? Let's do this murder. Oh, I need your money. I need you to plot it out. I need your men. Let's do this murder, right? And he's like, I got you. We're gonna do it. And it's a government dude, okay? And it's not even government because it's your guy, but the government, you know, whatever. All right, we got him. Okay. And then they go to set it up. It's a sting operation. The cops, everyone, put your hands up. Yeah, dude, I don't care. As someone that probably would get caught in that situation, I don't think I care, dude. Right, and if it's against your constitutional rights, your God-given rights, that's obviously wrong. I'm not gonna be like, do it. I'm not gonna be out there doing that. But like, as someone that doesn't, not say I don't care, but someone that doesn't care, like, you get what I'm saying? That you kind of did this to yourself. Like, you didn't have to do this, but again, it could be entrapment. But again, there's still a side of me is like, take the law out of it. If someone says let's go murder somebody, and you agree to it, regardless of the fact that it's a federal agent, I think you're still a bad person, right? You shouldn't be out here just, let's kill him, let's shoot him, right? So I get what he's saying. Let me know what you think about it. I'm sure it's probably entrapment. I can look it up, but
Bringing that crime to
saying
bed.
yes, and again, we would already have something on you, or think we have something on you. You're not for sure. You're not a random person. That's my point.
Doesn't matter if you're random or not.
This is a federal informant. That could be probably someone from your group. God, he probably snitched on you. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody has the same rights.
Yeah.
If you're alleged to be a criminal, but you didn't commit a crime, you still have rights as an American citizen.
For sure.
So it doesn't matter what you think. Doesn't matter, or what you suppose, doesn't matter. You could say, yeah, John Gotti's doing a million different things. We don't know what they are, but let's get somebody to do something so that we do know what it is. You're manufacturing that crime. It didn't exist before.
No.
Pause. You've been voted
Oh,
out.
all right. Nice meeting you.
Fellow New Yorker, thank you.
Hi.
That's the last one we're going to do, then we're going to skip to a different topic.
I'm well. How are you?
Good.
I love that you brought up the Gambino family. One, because there was more to it than I guess was just discussed before, right? So we talk about Joey V. Joey's the one who took them down. He was pulled over and he was in possession of a large amount of cocaine, right? So that's how he was located. And then I think the word that you're using, manufacturing, I kind of understand where you're coming from. You're saying that we're being a part of something that is criminal, so therefore we're helping to manufacture it. When in reality, what it is we're going in there. And so we talk about one of the captains of the Gambino family who had a construction company, racketeering, fraud, all of those things, tax evasion, all the things. So when we're sending in an informant, we're looking for those things. We're not necessarily committing a crime also alongside the people who are already engaged in criminal activity.
You're not committing the crime, but you're manufacturing the crime.
But if we're finding evidence by utilizing an undercover detective or a corroborating witness, we're not engaging in criminal activity, we're locating criminal activity that's already in place.
Or by bringing that confidential informant in, you manufacturing it, as far as I'm concerned, because it wasn't there before this particular informant.
I think she's talking about something else. Maybe she's talking about she didn't say he sat you down and let's do this crime. If someone that's undercover gets in and takes pictures and gets evidence on your shit, Oh, that's tough, Junior. You're caught.
Brought it to the alleged defendant or perpetrator, let's put it that way.
Okay, so let's use your example.
Okay.
I pull somebody over, and we're going to go into narcotics. We're not even going to necessarily talk about organized crime in a mafia family, but I pull over somebody and I pull them over, and they're like, man, I can't go to jail again. I can't go to jail. And we know that they're a lower level holder or maybe even a seller, and we want the big person. There's already a relationship there where criminal activities are already occurring. Otherwise, we're not getting someone in the door, right? So if I pulled somebody over from your family or your ex-family, and
I was a Colombo guy, by the way.
I know.
But I was very familiar with the Gambino.
No, I know. I'm pretty familiar with the Gambino family. I'm a Jersey girl, by the way. But
I could tell.
so, hell yeah. So what I'm saying is if I'm building a corroborating witness or a confidential informant, and I utilize that person into an investigation, there's already a relationship there based on the criminal activity that's happened. There's already things that they're bringing to the table to make sure that I understand their why as whether or not I can even use them, right? Reliable or not, nobody's reliable fully, so I need other things to show me that I'm gonna be able to have the evidence to move forward. So I'm not always asking somebody to commit a crime with somebody in order to be a part of a manufacturing of whatever crime. I'm looking for the evidence, whether it's going in there and it's looking at your books or sitting in on a dinner where there's conversations being had that can corroborate the information that we believe we already have. It's not going to be like, hey, I know, and you used Gotti as the example. So I know that Gotti's the boss. I'm not going to just manufacture something. I'm gonna start doing surveillance. I'm gonna watch criminal activity take place. I'm gonna utilize that to build probable cause.
Yeah, you're bringing together the totality of the tools that you have, the weapons that you have, to investigate this crime.
Correct.
Nothing wrong with that. I get it. I mean,
but that's what a CI or an undercover is going to help me do as well.
Yes.
It's after those things that I just talked to you about are starting to form, or at least that's how an investigation goes in Jersey that I've been a part of. We're utilizing all those things to come together and then use that CI to go in and witness criminal activity that's already taking place in a criminal environment. Okay. It's not something we're already manufacturing.
Let me give you an example. I was a subject of an undercover operation. It was me and Don King.
Okay.
The government was trying to allege and prove that organized crime was involved in professional boxing. So they had an undercover informant and an FBI agent that went on, undercover, and they were with me for 8 or 9 months. Now, I was not involved in this organized crime being involved in professional boxing, but I was a target. They believed that they can get to me to try to prove their case. It never happened. I was never involved in it. But for 8 months, they tried to get me involved in criminal activity and infiltrate me and Don King. They tried to get me to get Don King to take a bribe and all this kind of stuff. We didn't go for it, and the investigation went down. If they would have got me to go along with it, they manufactured it.
They were trying to look to get you to fit the crime that they wanted because
Correct.
They couldn't get you somewhere else.
Correct.
I can understand where your point is coming from. You're saying that we're manufacturing the crime by bringing you in and building that relationship. But again, to go back, you still say yes or no to it. We're giving you the opportunity to say yes or no. And you're saying you said no.
Yeah, but I would have had nothing to say no to if the government didn't try to trap me into it. They actually tried to lay a trap for me to get involved.
And they didn't, so you're saying the criminal justice system worked for you?
I guess.
Because that's what it is, right? It's a justice system for criminals.
You could say I got lucky, I got whatever. I didn't bite, but I almost did. I'm going to be honest.
Would it be sifting through the weeds or no? Because I get it. Again, you could say, yeah, it's wrong. But it'd be like, well, if you have nothing to do, you're not thinking about it, and you're really on your morals and principles that you're not going to do bad things, would you do it? Again, even if the offer is from this FBI agent. My thing is, again, yes, it could be entrapment, but you have some, again, if someone's like, yeah, let's do fentanyl, the average person's probably like, nah, dude. Even if it's federal informant, yeah, man, I got that good. Promise you it's not going to do anything to you. I got Narcan on standby. Let's do it. Let's sell it. No, I'm good, sir.
I'm not that brilliant. I almost did, but I didn't. But I would have had nothing to say no to if they didn't manufacture the crime.
Okay, pause. We're out of time.
Thank you. My next surrounded claim is that law enforcement believes it's okay to violate the law in order to arrest the lawbreakers.
What law? It depends which one.
Hey, Michael, nice to
How
meet
are
you.
you? Nice to meet you.
Michael, I want to start with a question. How many cases as a law enforcement officer have you worked?
Have I worked as a law enforcement?
Yes.
None.
Okay. My point is, you don't know the ins and outs from our perspective of how much work, time away from our family, effort to get a good case that's going to stick. You think we want to mess all that work up by breaking the law? I mean, you would understand that would seem very foolish, right?
No, not, if your name is John Gotti, Sonny Franzese, Michael Franzese, Fat Tony Salerno, Joe Colombo, no, I don't think that's unreasonable that law enforcement would break the law in order to catch somebody that they think is a name like that. I've seen it happen.
And in what ways have you seen it happen?
By suborning perjury, by holding back exculpatory material at a trial, by FBI agents coercing people into testifying, coercing people into going undercover against people. I've seen that my whole life.
And listen, I mean, we can't speak on definites, right? Like I've always taught my kids, any sentence that you start with, like everyone, all, nobody, never, the next thing you say is going to be a lie. Okay? So are there cops that have broken the law, jeopardizing cases that they have worked very, very hard for? Of course.
Thank you.
But
you just made my point.
no, I know, but it's not definite, right? And I would say the vast majority of police officers, they're not doing that because
totally
of
the
amount of work. But of course, we can agree that it does happen. There's too many people, too many variables for it to say it never happens. I don't think that's the claim. The claim makes it seem more like it happens more than it does not happen, and that's just absolutely wrong.
I think it depends upon who the targets are. Certain law enforcement people build their careers on the names of people that they go after. Certainly with John Gotti, certainly with my dad, Sonny Franzese.
No shit, dude. Like, be real. Like, come on, bro. If it's the head guy in town, it's obviously gonna be a bigger case than the local drug dealer. That's just facts, dude. You know, John Gotti, you know, whatever. He's a head guy. He's a head honcho, my guy.
To me, with me to a certain extent, you have to admit that big names give people in law enforcement an incentive to work a little bit harder to bring them down because you get rewarded for that.
Because what comes with those big names?
Big cases.
A reward if you convict them.
Many victims, right?
A reward if you convict them, yes or no?
A reward
Yes
if you
or no?
convict them, a reward for a job well done for anybody. But big names equal many victims.
Okay, yeah, obviously, if his dad gets convicted, I don't know who his dad. If his dad gets convicted and he's some big boss guy, yeah, no shit, dude. It's like when Diddy went down. You think that's gonna get the same publicity as some drug dealer that been selling drugs and had no, obviously not. Be real, no. It's just obviously people with a big name are gonna. Those are high value cases. That's just facts, bro.
I think that's the point that we're missing here, because a local street dealer, may affect 20, 30, 50, 100 lives, right? But John Gotti's affecting hundreds. Would John Gotti affect the same amount of people and same amount of victims as the lower level guy in the family? Probably not, right? There's a reason why John Gotti became the boss, right?
Let me tell you something. Most of the time, the informants that are going against the big guys, they're the ones that are doing most of the crime.
Right. I think to stick to the point at hand.
You gotta work your way up, boy. You gotta prove yourself.
To say that no police officer has ever broken the law, jeopardizing their case, that would be foolish. I would never say that, right? Because again, there's too many variables.
You already said that.
But the way that the claim states makes it seem almost like it's common practice. It's just not true.
Let me make it clear right now. I hope to believe that most law enforcement people are on the level. I have many friends in law enforcement now. The guy that was trying to put me away forever on that undercover sting operation became one of my best friends. Now, he's back in New York. Joe Spinelli was the head of the FBI.
Yeah, dude. You think he's your friend or he's just playing the long game? I don't know. Next, 3 days later, he goes to jail.
Good guy.
There's a mutual respect there. That
Mutual respect, yes.
Playing the long
He
game
came,
here.
you come and get me?
I'm not sure. This one's kind of just no hate. This one's kind of just getting to nothing. Let's go. Buddy got aura. He's like, I got this. He got aura. Buddy.
Tom, how are you?
Well, you've told us a little bit about yourself.
He's definitely worked some high-value cases.
I'll tell you a little bit about me. I spent 23 years as an FBI agent, all in Los Angeles, so I have no personal experience of working in New York as an agent, and I never worked organized crime.
Do you know Scott Garriola?
Yeah, very well.
Good friend.
Yeah, well, very good. I was married to a cop for many years, LAPD. I've known hundreds of police officers and worked with hundreds and agents. And your general statement is that law enforcement believes, it's a pretty broad statement, that it's okay to break the law to get the lawbreaker. And I disagree with that. You're describing an FBI that I don't recognize. I'm not going to argue with your experience, but in the Bureau.
Have you been paying attention to the FBI today?
I have been.
Okay. Will you agree that they've been breaking the law?
No.
You won't agree
are
to
the law.
today's?
I'm
not today.
I'm
The FBI of the last administration has not been breaking the law, doing things that they shouldn't be doing.
No, I disagree with you vehemently on that.
The last.
If I'm not mistaken, you could say whatever you want about the January 6th shit, but yeah, I'm pretty sure they had some FBI agents that were, planting shit, like pipe bombs and shit.
The Biden administration FBI, you say, has been totally above board. Comey has been totally above board.
I am not going to go into some broad political
I'm not being
discussion.
broad. I'm being factual. You believe that
FBI
James
agent,
Comey has not broken the law, has not been. You think he's been an honest and upright and law-abiding FBI agent?
I think James Comey was a good director of the FBI while
No comment. Yeah, I'm sure he was, dude. Sure he was, dude.
he was the director. I think he operated with integrity and honor.
We disagree.
And he was widely respected while he was director. Do I think he may have made some mistakes of judgment along the way? Yes, I could say
Why
that
did he
about a
allow?
lot
Why
of
did
bosses.
he allow Hillary Clinton to smash her? No, excuse me. I would have went to jail for that, and so would everybody in this room. Why would he allow Hillary Clinton to smash all of her computers and everything that she had information on, and not indict her for obstruction of justice?
My understanding of that case is that she was not indicted because they could not prove a criminal intent. Now, earlier today,
She admitted that they whitewashed her computers and everything else, all the information that she had in there. She broke her phones and everything else. She admitted to it. She did it.
your argument earlier is that law enforcement will break the law to break law.
I'm sure it's probably more people on federal, especially for high value cases, are breaking the law than people on regular charges. Like if it was me or any of these person in the room, probably wouldn't break the law like that, like the Hillary Clinton situation or the January 6th situation.
To catch lawbreakers. That's not my experience. My experience of the FBI is for every investigative technique, I had to get approval at every step of the way.
Yeah, no shit, right? We know, bro.
Let's take a trash cover. For the audience, a trash cover is when law enforcement picks up the trash that somebody puts out on the street. I don't need a search warrant for that. But the FBI requires that I get approval from my supervisor in writing and articulate why I'm going to conduct this operation, what's the purpose of it, and then I have to document the results.
Are you familiar with an FBI agent named Lynn DeVecchio?
No.
Okay. He was indicted for murder. Four murders. Because he worked
I
with
think
a
more of your
confidential-
guys than my guys have been indicted for murder.
Oh, absolutely, because we were criminals, but the FBI is supposed to
Yes,
be
you
fine,
were. You were
upstanding
criminals.
citizens that took an oath to protect people. But we were criminals. I'll admit to that. We didn't take an oath to abide by the law at all, but FBI agents do. And
Of
I'm not
course we
saying,
do.
I want to make it clear, I'm not saying this, I'm not throwing a blanket over everybody.
Of
There
course
a lot
you
of-
are.
No, I'm not. There are a lot of good,
You just
decent
make a
FBI
broad
agents.
statement that the FBI can.
He did. You just did a dig on him for speaking truth. Yeah, it's okay, dude. Right? I think he's having a little emotional response, dude. Again, law enforcement believes it's. I think that's just to get you standing up. I don't think he literally doesn't agree that he thinks every cop right now, every federal agent right now is breaking law to do an investigation. Obviously fucking not. That's just stupid. This is not true. But is there cases? No shit. Right? Is the sky blue? Duh. Right? Does the moon come out at night? No shit. Right? We get it. Honestly.
Committed crimes during the Biden administration. They Comey committed
no, I said
crimes.
James Comey did. James Comey did. 100% he did. James Comey absolutely did. I don't throw a blanket over everybody. Absolutely not. But there were certain FBI agents that did not uphold the law.
I get that. Now let's wind this back.
That's
a little
all I
bit.
needed to hear.
You have a certain view of the Comey years and that period. You're entitled to your opinion. I'm not going to
You work for him or something?
argue that with you. What I am here to tell you, as from my perspective, from my personal experience as an agent, that we want to get the bad guy, yes, but we don't think it's okay to break the law and do bad things to do it. Now, can there be a problem? Absolutely. I know of cases where officers and agents, or to use an example of the FBI, we had a situation where someone in the lab was maybe shading his or her analysis to favor the prosecutor. Allow me to finish. I listened to you very patiently. So there is absolutely a risk that anyone in law enforcement could lose sight of their ethics and their values, and that is very much the responsibility of the agency and the leadership and the management to create the culture that says, no, to go to one of the points.
Yeah, if you have a corrupt leader, well, who do you, like, do you think that fucking people give a fuck, though? Like, if the guy on top is corrupt, what makes you think the 3 COOs and the OOC, whatever the fucking levels are, aren't corrupt, right?
Which you made earlier, hey, you don't mind getting caught if you're caught when law enforcement plays by the rules. What I'm trying to tell you is that as an agent, your friend Scott Garriola,
Great guy.
great guy, he played by the rules.
100%.
The agents that I have worked with played by the rules. Do we make mistakes? Yes.
Okay,
Are
but
there mistakes of judgment? Allow me to finish. Yes.
I understand where you're going, but I have a very important question.
Go ahead.
Can you sit there and tell me that you have 100% belief that no agent will violate the law or do something unscrupulous to catch a lawbreaker?
That would be an absurd statement to make.
Why
There
is it
could be
absurd?
no
I'm
claim.
asking you a question.
Yeah, that just wouldn't be the truth, right? I can't say no person will do something because it's going to happen. So I don't know why he didn't say yes here. Yes, it's going to happen. Do I want it to happen? No, right? But it's going to happen, right? If there's an FBI, there is going to be a corrupt case, and that's just facts. Regardless of the fact if you may not like it, you may be this pro-FBI, yes. No, dude, it's just going to happen. If there's a police force, there's going to be a terrible case, or it's just going to happen, right? It's just is what it is, dude, right? If there's guns, there's going to be a shooting. There is going to be something. If there's a car, there's going to be a drunk driver. It's just going to happen, right? There's always going to be something bad about it, regardless of the fact if you're this pro guy or this, right? If my thing is, if you're standing on your beliefs and you're standing on this whatever your thing is, and if you can't say there's faults of something, then you lost. You already lost. If you're saying this thing is so good it can't do wrong, you already lost, and you can't say faults. They didn't do anything bad. You already lost, dude. You're winning. You're losing a losing argument, right?
You're saying that in your experience, no.
All right, we're done. I'm not trying to read this guy's kind of annoying. Lego.
Not on a local level, maybe not here in LA.
I disagree with that. I believe that has been alleged repeatedly till it's an urban legend that people
no,
believe.
No, you can see it. The FBI has been politicized during the Biden administration. I wish they weren't. Comey was totally politicized. Absolutely. What they did to, look, let me tell you this. I'm not,
Yeah, that just makes sense. Just makes sense, dude.
Donald Trump, I think he's a good president, and I want him there because the last one would have been a disaster. America would have been, I don't know where we would have been right now, but I'll tell you right now, okay, there's no question that Comey was politicized to do what they did to that man.
To do what they did to
Trump.
Trump?
Come on.
Well, I disagree with you.
Really?
I do.
I think when we get to a point in time where we leave politics out of the federal agents and the federal things, obviously you gotta listen to if he wants to do something, right? Like, ICE raids or these ICE things what's going on, whether you like it or not. Number one, their job, but yeah, I get it. They're 100%, there will be some corruption. Alright? It's just facts. Like, especially if this person is pointed to their job as, no, if, say I was president and I appointed my friend, guy, he's definitely gonna be looking over some things like, oh, there was a murder and I funded money to it? No, I didn't. Shut the fuck up. Cover that shit up now. That's obviously going to happen. Why? Because I appointed you to the job. It's not like a random selection. You're the best FBI. You've been working here for 30 years. You get to become the director. If I point this random podcaster to the director, I think, shit. No, you know. That's all I can say.
Okay, pause.
Okay. You got it.
Turn back to your seat.
Yeah, he definitely lost.
We're actually going to add 5 more minutes to the clock for this. This is a really good.
Alright, let's go. Let's see who kind of lost that argument. The bald head looking dude.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm good.
So let me ask you this. What got Gotti got? What got him got?
What got him got?
What got him got?
Well, you want to go to the main witness against Gotti? It was Sammy Gravano.
What got him got, though?
Clarify.
The mouth.
Oh, the mouth. Oh, no doubt about it.
Right?
I absolutely agree with that.
The wire, right?
Yes.
Okay. So in order to get that wire, it's certain steps we have to go through.
Yes.
Right? A judge has to sign off on that.
Yeah,
Right? So you have to have all this stuff in place before you even attempt to go in that house, before you attempt to climb up that pole, before you attempt to go and put a confidential informant in there. Most of that stuff has to be laid out. Yeah. And a good judge is not going to sign any of that. He's going to look at that and say, what has this CI done?
And what will a bad judge do? He'll just sign it, right? Because you just said, so you have good and bad judges.
Right, but most of the time, there's a big trail. There's smoke, there's fire, right? 90% of the time. So what got him in trouble was he couldn't shut up.
That's true.
Right?
I agree.
And that's what gets most of crime bosses in trouble.
Well, not the chin.
Okay. How did he go down?
Huh?
How did he go down?
Me?
Yeah. How'd you go down?
Never on a wiretap.
Never on a wire?
No.
Okay. So your mind, how did you go down?
How did I go down?
Can you say that?
I had an informant.
Okay. Well, was this informant, did he face you in court?
One time he did, and I was acquitted. Yeah.
Okay. He testified?
Yeah.
All right. So how did you get acquitted? What did they say the informant didn't or didn't prove?
Well, he lied. That was my point from before. He
so
lied.
your attorney got you off, right?
He didn't get me off. I was innocent. So he lied.
What did he lie about? But what did he lie about?
He lied about me.
So
he lied about the facts that they were trying to prove against me that were ridiculous, and the jury saw through it. And
if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure he did go in though. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure maybe it wasn't him, but if I'm not mistaken, he did. Did he? This could be wrong. I don't want to be rude. If I'm not mistaken, from what I've seen on TikTok, again, I don't get all my I've seen him before. I actually like this dude a lot. He has some good takes sometimes. If I'm not mistaken, I thought he turned into a federal informant himself, right? But again, maybe I'm wrong. If I'm not mistaken, I thought so.
Got acquitted. And again, I'm not throwing a blanket over every person in law enforcement. But what I'm saying is, in certain situations, I believe law enforcement thinks it's okay to violate the law to catch a lawbreaker because, well, we can't get him for what he didn't do, so let's try to manufacture something or get him something that we can pin on him.
Well, you say manufacture.
Pause. You've been voted out by the majority.
Okay.
Turn to your side.
Okay. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Do you believe it's possible to operate in law enforcement without breaking any laws?
I would hope so.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So take this situation for example. Say we get an Amber Alert put across for a car that has a kidnapped young girl in it. Correct. A police officer is going down the street, and he sees this car. Correct. Is that breaking the law if you run through a red light?
Yes.
Okay. So the police officer should stop at the red light while that car drives off with the kidnapped girl.
Absolutely not.
Okay. So you're telling me that you would hope that law enforcement can operate without breaking any laws, but you're telling me now that he should break that law to go get that girl.
Law enforcement, I've seen law enforcement, are you allowed to go through a red light? As a law enforcement
Yes,
officer?
you are. If you cut your lights
you're not
on
breaking
before you
the
go
law,
through a red light. Okay. So I
Well,
think
you're not
that
breaking the law.
it's still a law. In my opinion, I think
But
law
you're
enforcement.
you're not breaking the law because
Okay, from what I've seen, I don't think he ratted. No, actually, did he? It says right here, formal reveals that the shocking story of the $8 million snitch deal he took. No, I don't know. Did he? I'm not seeing anything. So I mean, Reddit's full of not saying losers, but you know, if you know, you know. Some people saying so I consider him a rat. Again, dude, you've probably never been outside. I'm not trying to be rude. I don't know. From what I've seen, I didn't see anything that like said he was a rat. Like, yeah, this dude ratted. I didn't see anything like that. Like him testifying, him saying this. I didn't see anything, so I don't know. Did I not fucking just click it?
you're allowed to go through a red light, so you're not breaking the law.
Okay, so we're setting laws out.
And I would hope
you're
that
being
you would
very
go
vague
through
with
that
laws then, because you're saying laws in general, because that would still be a law, just like speeding is a law.
What I'm saying is that law enforcement, in most cases, now I'm going to tell you something. My daughter in a car, now I don't care what law you broke, I don't care what you did to get to
Right,
her.
'cause it's
you know?
personal.
Obviously, it's personal. Okay, so I understand that, and I would hope that you would do that.
Correct.
Okay, but that's a different case. What I'm saying is, I believe that many in law enforcement, and again, it always depends upon the situation, think it's okay. This is a bad guy. We can't get him for what we did, so we can manufacture or bring something around him so that we can put him in jail. And I think law enforcement does that. I don't even know if in some cases, I disagree with it. If I knew that the guy was a serial killer and I can't get the guy, and I had to do something to make him make a mistake so I can, I would definitely do it.
Right.
I mean, I don't think I like qualify. I was like, I watch body cam videos, but from what I've seen from the body cam videos I watched for the investigations, I have seen none of that. But again, they wouldn't show it, which makes complete sense. But like, I've really seen none of it on the local level. Federal level is way different, but local, I think it hardly happens local. Being real. But federal level could be different.
But I'm a criminal.
Alright, let's go to a different thing. I'm not really trying to hear all that shit. We might watch one more of this, I don't know.
Allowed to go past the red light. You're allowed to speed. Often measures success by arrests and not by safer streets. How are you? How you doing, sir? Good.
So I'm from Houston, Texas. I'm big on, DWI, DRE. So most of the time, I don't answer calls at all. My work is driven off of stats, arrest. So for you to make that kind of claim is very, misleading and dangerous, because most of the time I'm putting my life at risk to stop impaired drivers, drunk drivers. So which means if I see somebody driving, wrong way, I'm probably gonna put myself in harm's way to, stop that driver so that somebody doesn't get hit or killed. So I don't believe in your claim. Do you have any experience in that at all?
Well, again, my experience comes from a different place, being in the world of organized crime, growing up in that, being a subject of several arrests and investigations, and watching others also. In that world, there's no question that people, not safer streets that they're concerned about. They're concerned about the arrest and what it brings to them personally.
So would you say making arrests with your own organized crime is different from me making arrests from DWI? So what makes that difference if we're still making?
I'm not trying to be rude. The federal agents, they will clean up the streets. Like obviously, if they do task force stuff, they raid houses back to back, or they're doing crime. They're doing child protection things where they're like online crimes against child or whatever. They do that stuff. Like, yeah, I get it, but like, I think the people that actually make the streets safer, like, and community-wise, probably would be more local than FBI, right? It's just like FBI doesn't patrol the streets; it's the local. you know? So, like, I wouldn't say that about the cops, though. Like, I don't think the cops are going after the big cases because they don't really have them. Like, you think you think where was he at? Jersey, I don't know, the Jersey State Police or the Jersey whatever was going after the Gottis? Like, I don't know this case. I'm just going off what I would think. Again, I could be wrong. You know, I'm more than welcome to admitting I was wrong if I was wrong. But, like, I think that's more FBI, federal level type of thing. I think the regular cops are probably making the streets safer, right?
Arrest bad guys. It's just different crimes.
Well, again, you know, it goes back to the
Law enforcement often measures success by arrest and not by safer streets.
totality of the situation. You're not manufacturing a crime. You're not
Wouldn't more arrests equal safer streets or not? Was it more arrests of certain things, right?
targeting. You know, let me tell you the difference with organized crime, okay? You just pointed it out. You go after the lawbreaker because you're watching them violate the law, drunken driver or whatever, right? Okay, so you go after the person that's committing the crime. But a crime has been committed. In organized crime, they go after the person and hope that they commit a crime or wait for them to commit a crime because they think that they're a lawbreaker. You're not watching this guy for a few months thinking he might be a drunk driver and then waiting for him to get in the car drunk, right? You're not doing that.
That's not what I'm doing.
No, he's drunk driving and you're going after him.
That's
correct? Because he's committing a
hot take. You're just telling us what we know about different. Dude, yeah, obviously, dude. Like, I think he's wrong here. I think actually more arrests equal safer streets. If I arrest 1,000 drug dealers, it's probably going to mean there's less drug dealers, right?
crime at that moment.
Okay.
That's okay.
But it says law enforcement often measure success by arrest and not by safer streets. But wouldn't that go hand in hand, more arrests, safer streets, or no? I mean, to me, I think it would, because if I arrest 1,000 child predators in this one county, God forbid, if there's 1,000 child predators, we got something, man. That's bad. But I think that makes the streets a little safer. If I arrest 1,000 murderers in this city or wherever, I don't know. I'm just giving drastic numbers, just saying shit. I think that will make the streets safer. But I get what he's saying.
That's what you're supposed to do. It's a different investigation.
Okay, pause and vote it out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but there's
Okay, thank you.
law enforcement and PD.
How you doing?
How are you? Good.
Good. I completely disagree with you. I think most people that go into law enforcement, federal, state, local, are good, decent, honorable people.
We agree.
Who put their life on the line every single day for the American people in this country. I don't think that people are focused on stats, quotas, arrests, you name it. I hear that you keep mentioning this point about people getting promoted because of...
I think that could be true, but also not. I think some people actually do quotas. I think there's some cops that'll let you go if you're like speeding over a little bit. Yeah, man, just slow down. And there will be some cops. Yeah, I'm writing you this ticket for quotas. It could be, obviously you're speeding, you should be getting writing a ticket. But if I'm going 6 over, you couldn't find someone that was going 10. Fuck, it's okay, give me a ticket. It's what it is. I get it though.
The amount of arrests that they make. I doubt that happens now in modern day law enforcement. When I first started on the streets, I was making $15 an hour. It didn't matter to me about how many arrests I made. It was about whether or not I made it home safe at night. So based on the premise that you just mentioned, I completely disagree with you 100%.
And I agree in part on what you said, that most people come into law enforcement to do the right thing. But what level of law enforcement are you involved in?
I was in county level law enforcement.
On a county level,
Yep.
meaning that who are the perpetrators of crimes that you usually go after?
Could be anybody.
Could be anybody.
Anybody.
Okay. You should be in a different world. You should be in a world where they're going after high-level people. You mean to tell me that high-level people...
Whoa. That's not only law enforcement. Why don't we go off of him? Because I think he only is making arguments about federal agents. Fine. Why don't we talk about local?
Being arrested, charged, convicted, big-name people don't mean anything to the people that arrest and convict them.
I've arrested big name people, but I think a lot of times I think the level that you're trying to speak at a federal level, right? That's what I assume. You're saying like the high name cases, the big drug lords.
If Pablo comes up on your radar, you're gonna be like, I might want that. You know, this drug dealer comes up on your radar. I mean, obviously, it just makes sense, dude. It just makes sense. If someone is a highly successful or a high value target, obviously, dude, it just makes sense.
Those type of arrests. But these people didn't plant those guys to go make an arrest just based on their name. They had probable cause. They had a reason to go after these people. Even when you make those type of arrests, it doesn't automatically equate to a promotion or some type of accolade.
Not automatically, but in often cases it does.
Not automatically.
I would say if you work a more high value case like the Gotti's, it's gonna be different than working a local drug case. Why? Because I'm sure it takes a lot more work. Right? That just makes. Dude, I'm not trying to be rude. Like, the only reason why these big cases are known is because they probably do the most horrendous shit. Right? I mean, I'm not saying that some unknown cases probably haven't done more horrendous shit than some big known. That could be true. But, like, I'm saying these big cases, like the one, this Canadian skier who has I just saw it on X, has a $15 million bounty on his head. Oh, yeah, if a federal agent gets that, obviously that's going to be a good pat on the back. Why? Because he's doing worse shit than the local drug dealer or the local freaking dude. It just makes more sense. You get it? Like, obviously, if you're doing a high level, like you know, Pablo or El Chapo, if they're doing high level drug trafficking, high level this, yes, it's a high value target. No shit, dude. I don't know why he doesn't, like. It's gonna take a lot more work to get Pablo than this random drug dealer that's kind of like just with a clique of dudes. It's gonna take a lot harder to get Pablo Escobar or this Canadian skier or whoever than these like low level drug dealers or medium level drug dealers. It's just facts. I mean, come on, dude.
I disagree with that as well. I think, again, my premise is that 90% of law enforcement officers across the board don't go into this profession to make arrests. They don't have the resources or the time to sit there and count how many arrests that they're making.
Do you know who John Gleason was, a federal prosecutor?
I'm not familiar with him.
He prosecuted John Gotti, got a conviction. What happened to him?
Again, dude, let's talk about local law enforcement, not federal. Because I think we should be off that topic by now, all right? I think you're always, like, these people aren't federal agents, dude. Talk to federal agent shit to the federal agents. Talk local to the local. That's just gonna, like, to him, you're just saying bullshit to him. Like, okay, he understands, yes, the Joe Gotti thing, but let's talk the local level.
Love John Gotti, don't you?
No, everybody knows him, so you may as well talk about him. I can talk about a lot of guys, but he prosecuted John Gotti and convicted him. What happened to him after that?
I don't know, but let's get back to the premise.
Appointed a federal judge. Okay, right after that. You think he didn't know that? You think he wasn't promised that? You think that come on. You have to admit that when you get these high-level prosecutions and convictions, that it's a feather in your cap and you're looking for a promotion, and many times it happens.
Well, no, I hope people understand, like, if the FBI comes after you, I think they have a 98, 99% win rate, so you're kind of cooked anyways. But yeah.
Agree. Again, I think most people are out there doing their job and putting their life on the line.
I agree.
You can't get people to even get into law enforcement nowadays. It is absolutely squeezed dry. People don't want to go into the career of law enforcement anymore. If they do,
Let's go.
$1 million bail and a no bail at all. So that's why the cops are. I understand that. If I was a
that bail shit, probation, whatever is retarded. Let's just skip ahead. Someone else. See some good takes. Yeah, I wish you can talk more on local, because that's what I mean. I'm not saying I'm here for it, but that's just what we need to hear.
It's happened.
Pause. You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Cool dude, man. I like him.
No, it's Mark. Okay, nice to meet you.
I'm not going to talk about Hillary Clinton and John Gotti. So, unfortunately for us, I do think that your arrest record is a direct reflection of your work ethic. I think that you can take one guy on the street and you can say this.
People don't understand, if you're getting a John Gotti or whatever these cases are, you're not the new guy in. Just letting you know, from just how I would think, like, some dude working a high-level drug dealer isn't gonna be the guy that just got in, right? So I mean,
This guy made 100 arrests this year, and from an internal perspective, you say, man, that dude shows up, he busts his ass and works really hard. That sounds terrible to the public, that I'm out there arresting X amount of people. I probably look ruthless and unforgiving or whatever you want to say. But if you take the same guy on my squad who's made 5 arrests this year, what do you think they say about that guy? He's lazy.
Yeah.
You know, he's sitting under a tree. If you drive past that guy in the public, you say, this is what my tax dollars are going for. So I feel like we can't win no matter what, but if not by the arrest record, you know, you could judge off other things, but I mean, what else would you, how else would they, promote us?
I think the difference is here because my experience is mostly on the federal level. And when you're dealing with organized crime, it's a whole different ballgame. It really is. It's a different kind of street crime. Okay? Let me tell you something.
During the Gaudis. I'm just kidding. It's funny.
In the golden years of the mob, from the late 40s, right?
Come on, dude. It's the mob, the mob, the mob. What murder? I don't even know murder. Pasta Italiano. I shoot you with a Tommy gun. What murder? Cause he pay my money. I'll smack you. Like, come on, dude. We know it, dude. All right. Like, I want him to speak on something else that is not the mob. Besides, I mean, he did speak on the FBI. But fucking damn, dude. I understand that's your bread and whatever, but let's talk local, because local, actually, if you arrest 1,000 people in that community and it's all a certain crime or it's a whole bunch of crimes, like 100 DUIs, 10 murderers, 50 drug dealers, or let's say 300. You know, a couple people DUI, drug dealers, murderers, all these people. Yes, you're gonna make the streets safer. That's just facts, and you cannot disagree on that one. It's just facts.
Through the mid-'80s, when the RICO Act went crazy and put everybody in jail. Those were the golden years of the mob. New York Times, New York Post, Daily News, Long Island Press. On law. I would hope that you make a lot of arrests for criminals out there. It's sickening to me when I look back and I see guys that were arrested 17, 18, 19 times and then come back out on the street and murder somebody. It's horrific. I don't even know.
It's because you live in New York, my boy. Just being real. Because you live in New York.
I can't even comprehend it, okay? That's a different kind of crime. But when you go on a bigger level, a federal level, and they go after these big politicians and they go after organized crime guys and guys with big names, of course they're going to get promotions, and of course that's in their head. So what does that cause them to do?
I don't think he understands Rookie Joe isn't getting politician. I mean, he probably understands it, obviously, but Rookie Joe isn't getting politician. The dude probably has to be a senior guy to get a politician or a head case. Being real. And that just only makes sense. If it's a heavy case that's going to be a lot of publicity and it's going to be a lot of shit, and especially something that's going to be harder to crack, I would think I would want someone with more experience. It's going to be a senior guy.
In my world, it causes them to stretch. Hey, I got to get this guy. This means a lot to me.
So,
it's only normal.
Do you not, you keep referencing.
I'm not trying to be rude, but like I don't think he understands come on, dude. Like, you think the guy was just known for handing out pizzas and all that shit? No, he has a reputation of something. And what is that something? I don't know.
Like the big names and the cases and things that you went through, and respectfully, do you not see more body cameras, and there's cameras everywhere, standards have changed, methods have changed. Do you not think all these things have changed for the better? Not saying it's perfect. I see the videos and things like you are referencing. I still see it. I understand them. That'll be perfect. But at the same time, do you still think those things are happening like the way that they used to, at the level that they used to?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah,
I think he's conflating law enforcement, like your local police department, your local sheriff department from the federal level.
Fortunately, look.
I think the local law enforcement is going to have a harder time getting away with it than the police, than a federal agent.
I think that a certain level of government was corrupt during my time. I can't even comprehend the level of corruption that I see now. Not at your level, not at police force. I'm not saying that at all. Okay? I'm saying in the higher levels, FBI.
Like, you can't. I'm not trying to be rude. You can't talk shit or shoot the shit with someone that is not a federal law enforcement. Dude, they don't know anything. I'm sure they probably seen them. They probably talked to them. They probably helped them out with a case or whatever. They took over a case. But dude, these people are not federal law enforcement. These are regular policemen, cops or whatever. So like, you keep on shooting them. You keep on talking about the federal thing, dude. They don't know. To me, it's kind of getting annoying. Oh, yeah, we're getting it off on this one. You guys gotta let me know what you think about this. We're gonna read these comments real quick. Let's go. Your organization, you violated the oath. We're all criminals. Facts. One wise man versus 20 gabagoos. They're trying to win an argument but not understand the topic. Facts. The way that every single cop takes the question so personal. Yeah, that dude, the one alien-looking dude, not alien, the one cop, yeah. The way every single cop, okay, I already read that one. The mafia boss is literally defending them while using a bullet, without using a bullet. Okay. The cops were just trying to defend their careers. I doubt it. 100%. I'm not trying to read. That guy was doing too much. I feel like watching this is like an adult speaking to ADA. I don't know what that is. Okay, kids, yeah. These cops don't understand the world is functioning. Huh? 70% of these cops are starstruck. Yeah. Yeah, you guys gotta let me know what you think about this. I think kind of like, I'm sure if I watch the rest of it, I'll get more of an understanding. I think he was probably right with the conversion shit. Like, to me, yes, it is entrapment, but not saying I don't care about your God-given rights and your obviously your constitutional rights. But dude, if you're a murderer and they trap you in it and you say whatever and you go commit the murder or you go plot out the murder, you probably were gonna, not saying you were gonna do it, but the opportunity was at your front and you grabbed it and you shouldn't have grabbed it, right? Don't touch the stove when it's hot and you touch it, right? But yeah, obviously that's correlated, whatever it's called. But I wish he talked more on the local, because I think a couple of these people are more local than federal, but it's all federal. Like, obviously, come on, dude. We're not retarded. We know that. We know the FBI don't play fair. They don't like to play fair, man. You know that. Yeah, man. But you guys gotta let me know what you think about this one. This was a good one. This guy actually had some great points. I think some of these cops had some good points too. Yeah, if I was wrong on some shit, disagree. You don't gotta call me a fucking stupid idiot. You dumb fucking idiot. You gotta learn your fucking facts, okay? You don't gotta say that. Just say I was wrong. Just say I was wrong. All right, y'all. Peace.